Hold on just one moment, this show isn't over yet.
Time to pay homage to the stars of the UWA's past as we induct our inaugural class of the UWA Hall of Fame. And now introducing your host, the UWA Elite Heavyweight Champion, Sean Damage McNellis.
You're nervous. Sit down, John Boss. I love you.
You got this. Ladies and gentlemen.
That means I'm number one.
Hello. Good evening.
Goodbye.
And welcome to the first annual United Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame Ceremony. Tonight I will be your host. And before I begin, I would like to start by saying it's an honor and a privilege to be standing in front of each and every one of you here tonight. I know many of you thought this day would never come, and some of you are just beginning to understand how much work and dedication goes into our product and our brand.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The three men being rewarded here embody the United Wrestling Alliance perseverance, its spirit, and its strength. The three men being enshrined here today were a prudent part of ensuring that each and every one of us has something to do or watch on Tuesday and Thursday nights. The three men being celebrated here tonight assured UWA's preservation as something special long before I ever became heavyweight champ. They fought tooth and nail through adversity to preserve what started out as a fad, turned into a phenomenon, and ended up as a family. Ladies and gentlemen, if not for the first man being inducted here tonight, I probably would only know 3 or 4 of you. This man represents the perseverance of UWA. Not only does he represent it, UWA's perseverance depends on this man. He is the founder, president, and owner of the United Wrestling Alliance. He is the only person who could take such contrasting and different group of characters and find out what they do best and exploit it for all it's worth, while keeping said contrasting and different characters happy. He is the centrifugal force behind the UWA. After all, it's his story. He just lets us tell it. Excuse me.
Let's go right to the right. There you go. You don't have to move that far.
President and founder of the United Wrestling Alliance and UWA Elite.
Put the volume up.
As high as it can go.
Okay. Sit down, boys.
Better be.
Maybe if you got
I work for good. It's fun. Chris Landfair. No shoes. Oh. That's excellent. Who's so sharp?
Oh shit!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to officially once again welcome you all to UWA Elite HOF. You two want each other so bad, you can have it this Saturday at Higher Than Hell.
Just remember, the show isn't over yet. Because we have one
Put your hands down and embrace it. Nobody likes
Here tonight to induct Dave Swan into the Hall of Fame, soon to be Hall of Famer himself, and one of my closest friends, Mr. Armageddon, Arcadia.
When I first met Dave Swan, that wasn't right. When Dave Swan asked me to induct him into the UWA Hall of Fame, I didn't realize at first what an honor it was for me to do this. The thing about Dave is that I don't think many people's lives changed. I'm sorry. I don't think how many people's lives he's changed I could speak of for myself when I say, wow, I am terrible at this. I wrote it really quick. I have very terrible handwriting. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now I'm good. The thing about Dave is, I don't think how many people realize how many lives he's changed. I can speak for myself when I say that when I was given the opportunity to perform and learn about one thing, how passionate Dave Swan is about wrestling and his friends. Dave has given us all the opportunity to perform what we are all passionate about. Not only have I learned numerous life lessons and made dozens of friends, but I've matured and grown as a person because of Dave. As a wrestling mind, Dave is a genius in every sense of the word. Not only with the storylines and matches that he comes up with, but the constant barrage of egotism that he corrals and puts together the product that he does. He makes us all coexist like no one else can do. The fact that everyone in UWA considers each other family is a testament to him being a leader. We all need someone to put us in our place, sometimes with positive words and sometimes with not. For me, most of you, I'm sorry. So for most of you, that person has been Dave Swan. Dave's parents, Rose and Rich, are here. Second part doesn't have to be said now. I'd like to acknowledge acknowledge that they're here and thank them for coming.
Thank you!
Without their diligence and parroting, all of us would have not known what Dave Swan could do. They made it possible for Dave Swan to be the person that he was today. You have let him follow his dreams no matter what it took, and in turn, you have let all of us follow our dreams. So for that, we thank you. As a friend, Dave has always been there for me, whether it has been during trips to early IWF shows, or autograph signings, or just grabbing lunch and having someone to talk to and confide in. There are very few people on this earth that I respect more than Dave Swan. In my eyes, his generosity and his drive to produce a good wrestling product is unmatched. Without further ado, it is my honor to introduce to you the very first inductee into the UWA Elite Hall of Fame, Mr. David Swan.
First of all, I'd like to thank Arcadia for not only the wonderful tribute, but reminding me why I never write anything down. No, the truth is that for the last couple of days I've been sitting down trying to figure out why or what to say here today, and I realized that in the 12 years I've been doing this, I've never written anything down. It's always just been a thing. I've written down stuff for people, especially people at the table right over there. What's up? So I figured I was just going to come up here and I was just going to shoot from the hip. There's a couple people in this room that came up to me and asked me if they could do the honors of inducting me. And really, no disrespect to anybody here, there was only two people that I thought of, and that's Cypress and Arcadia. There are two people that have been with me since the very beginning. Fortunately, a little later on, Cypress's brother is going to be inducted, so it was an easy pick. I've known Arcadia for a long time. We have somewhat of a love-hate relationship, if you will.
To say the least.
More than the hate.
I know some people have said that Matt and I are kind of like an old married couple. And, sometimes I love them and sometimes I just want to strangle them and throw them through a window. And I should let everybody know that I've learned everything I know about relationships from Dave Wynand.
Bazinga!
The last thing in the world that I thought would ever happen would be for us to reopen in UWA. And the combination of so many original people coming back, along with so many of the new guys. And I said when we started UWA Elite up that I wanted it to be about the new guys. I wanted the old guys to have their spots and have a chance to pass on their tools. I never thought that we'd have such a great group of new talent to join. Guys like TJ Blade and Michael Massacre, Vin Grayson, guys like Everett Cross, Hot and Dangerous.
Tommy Guns Cobra.
I know I'm forgetting somebody. Tommy Guns Cobra.
Yeah.
The rest of the halls, Brandon, especially Brandon. I met Brandon early last year, and the amount that he's grown over the past couple months.
As a wrestler,
The truth is that I've known UWA something special for a long time, and Matt was actually one of the people that showed me. There was a couple years ago that we were working on a show for Gino Caruso. Hey, don't boo Gino. If you didn't screw me on a showcase, none of us would be here right now.
Yeah.
this was during one of the times where we were,
Don't cheer, oh no.
we didn't dislike each other, but we were not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, and we were working on a show in a bar on a Wednesday night in front of about 13 people, all of which were there to drink, and the wrestling just so happened to be on in the background. And when we were standing in the ring, we kind of looked at each other like, what the hell are we doing here? And he looked at me and he said that it's moments like this that I miss UWA. And I'm very glad that I've been able to be a part of this for all of you guys, both the new guys and the old guys. And there's so many people that I need to thank that I can't really go into it. Of course, I need to thank my parents. I can't. It's been a crazy ride, and right now I know that UWA's future is kind of in a little bit of a flux, a little bit of an uncertainty. But I can promise everybody in this room that I will do everything in my power to make sure that UWA 2012 will be the biggest season ever. Thank you guys all, and let's keep the show going. Thank you.
I swear to God. I'm so I'm buzzed.
The next man
I can do this.
to be inducted here tonight is none other than Matt Mitchell.
I can do this.
Matt Mitchell is one of the most decorated wrestlers in UWA history. Okay, Dan. He is a four-time UWA heavyweight champion, as well as the first ever UWA champion, a two-time tag team champion, and a winner of the Crossroads of Destiny tournament. Matt Mitchell was a consummate professional in the ring, as well as out of the ring, and his spirit for UWA never wavered. Matt Mitchell is the true definition of a UWA original, an original's original, so to speak. Seeing him in the ring with us this year, and watching the effort he put forth, and how it seemed like he never lost a step, inspired this locker room to compete that much harder. He may be one of the older veterans, but he never lost his attitude.
America's number one Jew.
Roach, you made it!
I'm in there too. Yeah, Mike Nelson. This is Mike Nelson. That's just like Mike Nelson. I know.
show tonight. The man inducting him did. He's also a soon-to-be Hall of Famer and a co-member of Team Beautiful. I give you none other than the Chicago Street Dog, Cypress.
I know. I feel. Like
Shut up, you're drunk.
I know it's pretty much my brother, but first I want to say that my quest is indeed the drinking Malibu Bay Breezes. Before I do this, I wanted to just, because I am inducting my brother, I just wanted everyone to give a more round of applause to Dave Swan. Now, obviously, nobody in UWA has known Matt Mitchell longer than I have, as him being my older brother. And I can think of so many things that come to mind when I think of Matt. And if I refer to him as Pat, I'm sorry, that's his real name. I know it's his film, but it's just what I'm going to say. The one thing that comes to my mind first, ironically, is first, because Matt was a lot of firsts in UWA. He was the first UWA heavyweight champion. He was the first UWA World Program. And he was the first UWA roster member to join the Hair Club for Men. Check glasses, cell phone check. That's the price. This is what I did for marketing, because I thought this. No, honestly, there are three things I think of when I think of Matt Mitchell, three defining career moments. And the first one is 2001, when UWA had their first show, go into it, where Dave Swan knew there was two ways he wanted to go with the heavyweight title. I'm sorry if I'm breaking down the fourth wall, but he wanted to go with either Arcadia or Perfectionist, and neither of them could make the first show, which is ironic because Arcadia usually misses shows when he's supposed to lose the title. But yeah, so they were both going to be there, so Dave was going through the roster, and Matt Mitchell was supposed to be the #1 heel, and he decided to go with Matt Mitchell, and it was a very good choice, because I'm not saying that because my brother, I promise. He really carried the ball, he really took the ball, he ran with it, and everyone talks about the boom period, 2003 when I had the title, and then, the ring got there, that was like, when UWA really made its mark. But there would be no boom period, no ring era if it wasn't for Matt Mitchell. He carried that company on his back like nobody else. In that time, those 2 years, he not only carried the company, but he became the only 4-time UWA heavyweight champion in the history of UWA. And the second moment that really defines Matt Mitchell's career to me is back in 2003, where he had a feud with none other than my Paramount member, First Class Brian Brass, and a feud in 2003 that actually won Feud of the Year. That's right, Kessler. And the feud had it all, man. It was a blood feud. It had everything. It had turkey, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles. It had. But no, honestly, though, everyone says the feud's about to suck, but it really wasn't. I'll joke about it before anybody else, but I'm the first to defend it. That feud started in 2002, and that feud lasted until September 2003. And it was, honest to God, in my opinion, the greatest any feud, not just in backyard wrestling and independent wrestling and any type of wrestling, when Matt Mitchell sawed off Brian Brass's leg. And I'm not lying, if you guys don't believe it, try to get a hold of Tech or Swan, and they'll show you the video of it, because it was really ridiculous. And it was, honest to God, and it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It was better if you actually did so on Press Live. But the third moment is back in late 2004, early 2005, when he knew that his career was about to come to an end. And other guys, they're performing better than him. He just couldn't, he knew. He was honest. He knew that he was done, that he just didn't have it anymore. And he went and told Dave Swan that he would take a back seat and try to help a young upstart named Scotty Delano and try to turn the inventor. I never said that Pat was smart. I mean, Scotty Delano was an inventor. That wasn't a very good choice. I wish Scotty was here because jokes about Scotty are more fun when he's here. But in all honesty, that is a defining moment because in all honesty, and I can tell you from experience, when on Hotter Than Hell 2005, I was sitting in Dave Swan's spare bedroom talking to him the wall about a match that I had to have because Brian Bress couldn't be there. I was calling my match, and I heard Matt Mitchell cut the promo telling Scotty Delano that he ruined his legacy, and honest to God, it was the most chills I have ever had in my life, and that's including anything that I've been involved in. And I knew it was because of my brother, and I showed favoritism, but it was honestly the most amazing thing I ever saw in wrestling. And I mean that. The one thing that my brother had that a lot of people don't realize, and there's one word, and that's the intangibles, brother! Yeah! No, it's really not, because we don't know what that is. It's one word, and that's unselfishness. Now, a lot of people think of the Bamboozle as being but no, he really was unselfish, because I can think of 3 moments in wrestling alone that was very unselfish, and the first one comes in the year 2000 when we started a little group called USW, and of course we got the little one because me and my brother Dickie T ran it. So we knew that there was a young kid, like an 11, 12-year-old kid that always wanted to be part of wrestling, that couldn't be part of wrestling. And we wanted to be part of USW, we didn't know what to do with him. He had a gimmick, a character, and everything. And my brother said, you know what, let him manage me, I'm the top heel, I'm the top heel, let him manage me. And it was one of the greatest things that kid ever had, and I'll speak for it. And he's sitting in the back of the room, but everyone gets a mulligan. Guys, I'm sorry, yes, me and Matt Mitchell are responsible for RJ Gerhardt, I'm sorry.
I heard you guys on Twitter! Hashtag you suck!
The second moment of selfishness come in 2001, when after he won the heavyweight title, and this is the one means the most to me, because Matt Mitchell was the heavyweight champion, there was no real people to contend for him, and the only guys that were really top dogs at the time were Arcadia and Big Dan, and they were both faces, and so was Matt Mitchell. I'm sorry if I'm using insider terms. And there was no really heels. He just beat Ace Jack in the program, and there was only one heel left, and he actually went out and said, not only would he feud with me, and I didn't think I was worthy yet of being a main eventer, he also agreed to put me over for the UWA heavyweight title when I didn't think I was ready, and it meant the most in the world to me. And not only did he agree to do that, but he also, in the process, agreed to have another young guy come up that he helped train, come in and cost him the match, and start a program for him to help upstart his career, and that's the first Grand Slam champion. I know guys don't really like him, but that's the real deal Mike Nelson, and he's first credit too. And Matt Mitchell did that. And I'm like,
Grow a little.
and to be honest, he agreed to put me, not only agreed to put me over, he put me in a ladder match, and I don't know what Dave Swan was thinking putting me in the ladder match. I don't know who would put me in a ladder match. TJ Blade, I'm looking at you. I'll be forming, you know what I'm talking about. But the third defining moment, or unselfishness of Matt Mitchell's career, is in 2004-2005, like I said, when he agreed to take a step back and manage Scotty Delano. It showed his true unselfishness that he was willing to take a step back and try to help the new talent, which is what UWA Elite was all about. And Matt Mitchell really is a precursor to all that. But there's so much more. But that's not the biggest thing about the unselfishness of Matt Mitchell. I can think of plenty of times since I grew up with the guy that he was unselfish, like when I was like 8 years old, when he caught the chicken pox and he decided that he was so unselfish and he gave it to me too. That was very nice of him to do. But one of the biggest things was when, about a few years ago, when our stepfather was going in for open heart surgery, when he hopped the first plane back from California to be with his family. And that's something I admire more than anything else in his family values, because he has no family values to anybody I know. And I really want to feel tonight that the most unselfish thing my brother ever did was give his life away to serve every single one of us, every single U.S. citizen, to join the United States military. I just strive that I could be like my brother and do something like that one day. And it is my distinct honor and pleasure to induct my brother Matt Mitchell into the UWA Hall of Fame.
Hey everyone at UWA. I really wish I could be there with you guys right now, even though I'm in Hawaii in January, where the weather's nice and the beach is still able to be used. I'd much rather be there in New Jersey with all my friends and my UWA family to accept this award right now. I've won a lot of awards in UWA's past, but the Hall of Fame, that's right now I would say without a doubt is the best award I've ever gotten, because it's nothing I ever expected. When we started UWA, we never planned on there being a Hall of Fame where one day we'd have people who had actually, quote unquote, done something for the Federation would be inducted into a lasting enshrinement. But when I look back at it now, what we did and what is still there today based on the boundary that I helped create, and seeing that you guys are still going and still doing this strong so many years later, it makes me glad that I can be a part of it and that I can be in the first class of your Hall of Fame. I really wish I could still be there with you guys. Last August, rather, when I was there, and I surprised you guys, seeing your reactions to seeing me and seeing friends that I haven't seen in years, really brought a lot of memories back. And I know that's all I got now is memories that I've moved on, but the memories I shared with you guys, you know, they're in my heart, and that's where memories never die. So I can't thank you guys enough for this award. Hopefully one day I can be back there and competing with you guys in that squared circle again. But if not, I mean, I just wanted to leave you guys with a couple things. Stay strong, keep it going. You know, when I left, there was a lot of younger guys there who I know had been backyard wrestling for a while, but hadn't been in UWA as long. Guys like John Bowes and Damage and Tech. And now I see them now leading the way where we were 5-6 years ago. And I see how that tradition is carrying on. And the young guys who are there now, the rookies, take what you're learning from all these other guys and carry that on, because eventually the next generation, when they're here, they can learn from you. And keep UWA in your hearts, because the one thing that was always secure and there in my life was UWA. I knew that every Sunday I'd have a chance to go there and hang out with my friends and wrestle and do everything I love to do. And that's one thing that I'll never lose, and I wish I can get back, but I never will. So everyone, just stay strong. Work through adversity. If you don't like the way you're wrestling, if you don't like what's going on, fix it, change it, make it work. Because UWA is always going to be there and will always help you if you'll help it. So keep it strong. And other than that, stay good, keep a positive attitude, and hopefully I'll see you guys back one day.
Our final member into our Hall of Fame class tonight is none other than Big Dan Martin. Not yet, Dan. I'm anxious. Big Dan Martin represents our strength. The first undisputed champion, a Grand Slam champion, winner of the Brawl for It All, Wrestler of the Year, and the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, twice. at the same time, he maintains his modesty. He is one of the greatest guys ever you can have in the locker room. Always there to lend a hand, a thought, a kind word, even a joke or two. I know at least half of you got your gear designed by Big Dan Weiner. A student of the game who gave his absolute all and let everything out in the ring. I aspire to be a lot of things, but I think if more people acted like Big Dan, the whole world would be a better place. Don't worry, folks. He isn't coming from over here, or coming from over there, because he's already had an amazing career.
Down in front, Dan.
It used to be just a left and right sound.
Nice mask, Dan.
Hey, John, you're fat.
Shout out. Look at that handsome guy. Look at that handsome guy. Shout out. Hey, Dan, what's that next to you? Some guy. Just better.
Nice flannel.
Yeah, we be that guy. Sorry. One hell of a career.
It's these expressions I never give. Got me searching for a I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart. Searching for a heart of gold. Get no. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Get no. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. Then I'm running for a heart of gold. Keep me searching for a heart of gold.
Inducting Big Dan Wynant into the Hall of Fame is none other than his brother, and one of my favorite people in the whole world. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Alpha Wynant.
So I really didn't write a speech, so I thought I would just take out this pamphlet here. Along with this comb that I just found in my pocket. Holy gosh. I think this was Harvey's. I'm gonna keep this here with the business card. I got a speech. Deep stories. I can say it. Alright. For real though. Wrestling isn't about taking, it's about taking your imagination and stretching it to its furthest limit. You know, no pun intended, Big Dan is bursting at the seams. Like literally, no pun intended. Big Dan was filled with charisma and everything that wrestling is about. Yeah. Starting out first, I was like 9 and 10 years old. Big Dan, me, and my brother Dave, we used to wrestle in my mother's bedroom. Big Dan used to be The Rock, Dave was Triple H, and I used to be your ref. Not only was I good at it, I was great at it, and we didn't have anybody like Vinny B. He was such a great When we took things a little more seriously, me and Dan were commanded under my brother Dave, who started something called the SWF, Spots Wrestling Federation. I met such great people like Dave Swan, Arcadia, Cypress, Pat Dahl. I mean, down the line I met Sean and everybody else like that. Like, it all turned into like a big family of great wrestling. But honestly, starting back at SWF, Big Dan, like I said, like Big Dan always uses his imagination. He was always about to go like up and beyond. Big Dan's first gimmick was Boot Camp Jones. Yeah, like literally, like, excuse my language, but Sergeant Slaughter had a pussy fart, and Big Dan came out. That's why I love Big Dan. That's why I love Big Dan, because he took something and he always took it to the further extent. Going on to the next point, his next gimmick. Mean Dean Hobbits. The Matzo Maniac. I never understood why Dan wanted to be a Jew. I never understood because I mean, we are from a German descent, you know. But hey, you live with a Jew, and you got rid of a Jew. You still live with a Jew, you still see how that's going. Dave brainwashed you and convinced me you were Canadian. And you were mainstay tag team in ECPW, Regina Crusoe, a mindless idiot. But then he had the greatest idea of all, turning you into a hooded wrestler called Fujio. Hey, let's go with a great idea. Let's put white guys under a hood and call them Japanese. But as ridiculous as all these gimmicks sounds, bottom line, Dan, either way, like what he did, what he was handed, he took it to its full extent. He portrayed the gimmick, you know? As much as he hated it, or as much as he loved it, he was there full time, all the time. Like, I don't know like the right words to express it, but Dan took it to the next level. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Dan stepped out to the ring, he didn't just go out there because he had to do it. He went out there because he wanted to. And he wanted to make somebody happy while doing it. He wanted to portray the gimmick he was given and everything that he did for it. And by doing that, Dan achieved something that not many people will ever achieve in UWA, and that is being a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah!
Without further ado, Big Dean Fujio Logan Wyatt, come up here and receive your award.
Don't throw it at me, Dan! Right there.
Since I took that wrist tape off, Brian Brass, you can now take out all the heat on me that you want. To bleed, 1201, I bloody your face. Oh, okay, let's get on with it. I hope you brought some tissues for me. You know I cry like a little bitch. Today, I look back at not the memories I had in the ring, that 15-year-old kid who had a passion for doing something that burned bright again. It was wrestling that caught my eye. With the grip of death, never let go. I was hooked. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was normal guys living out their fantasy in a world that had so many obstacles. It was a place where reality stepped aside, and dreams poured like rivers and stars shined so bright. It's what I wanted to be part of. In 1999, a couple of brothers in a small average Joe town decided that they were going to escape. They were going to escape to a place that knew no boundaries. One that you could write any story however you wanted to. It didn't have to make sense all the time. You had the pen. The slate was clean. All you had to do was put the ink to the paper and start writing. When I put the pen to the paper, I couldn't put it down. I took my breaks where I needed to, but I was always thinking of the next sentence I can write. 12 years later, guys, can you believe it? 12 years later. I was back, and man, what a story we wrote. What a story. A lot of people had their hand in writing it. November 20th, 2011, you all helped me finish one of the greatest stories I could ever tell. I ended my career with all my friends surrounding me in that ring. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Thank you. If I had to write it all again, I wouldn't change a word of it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Not many people get their chance in life to write a story like this. I'm truly grateful for everybody who contributed to it. I would first like to start off with a big thank you to everybody. This was my last year wrestling, but I had so much fun with you guys. I really did. I think I speak for everyone when I say this year was truly special. This past June, after 6 years, everybody came out of the woodwork and decided it was time to come back home.
Yeah!
After many years apart doing our own things, this band of brothers and sisters came together to perform their hearts out each and every week. It didn't matter how the weather was outside, what bothered individuals personally, and so on. Each week we brought the thunder! Yeah! We put on some of the best wrestling I've ever seen. I want to do a couple personal thank yous, but I felt like that would take a long time. So here's an abbreviated version. Insert name here. Personal stuff, personal stuff. Although my time in the ring has ended, there is one thing I'd like to make clear to everyone right now. Brawl for All next year, number 17, you know who's coming in. Seriousness, I'm really not done writing. Although the next chapter will be very different, it will still have the same aura and mystique that it once had. With this all being said, I urge you all to keep telling your story and write it well. Keep on living your dreams no matter how small or big they are. Just because I am done wrestling doesn't mean I am going to ride off in the sunset. I will be around. I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever you need. We have something beyond special here, and everybody knows that. And I stress to you all, never, ever let this dream die. designing gear for #RJ
Yeah.
or whatever it is. I'm not a hard guy, so I understand. I'll be able to help you with it. In closing, I leave you all with this. Never forget who you were. Never forget who you are. And never, ever forget who you have become. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear it one more time for all three. I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for attending and watching the first annual United Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame ceremony. I look forward to seeing all of you at the second annual UWA Hall of Fame. Yeah!